Hi guys, welcome to YILDIZ readings for those of you who are new. So here we have your romance read, but it's not just any old romance read. We try to help to give you as much information relating to your ascension, chakras, balance, empowerment, to get the best out of your love life and to tune into the energy both psychically and astrologically. I also do twin flame coaching and energy check-ins regularly as I am a twin flame. So if you do need a booking, the link is directly below. Please join us as these updates are regular here at YILDIZ readings, and we will not make you wait any longer. Let's get into your romance house and see what could be energetically coming through for you. Love and light, guys. Grab a cuppa, sit back and relax, and let's get into it. Hi beautiful Taurus, we're here to do your romance read. Now I've pulled the cards, I'm sitting with your astrology and I'm tuning into it, and this is a really unique year for you. Now, number one, we do have Uranus in Taurus. We also had Mars in Taurus. We also had Black Moon Lilith in Taurus. So the last 2 months have been heavy hitting for you. Now, that retrograde of Mercury, we're in the shadow phase of it. And yes, this is all going to be very relevant to your romance because that of what's external to us and outside of our control. And the circular energies of our groups is directly impacting our romantic sphere. Now, you currently have Libra in your chart, in your romance house. Scorpio, sorry. Okay, so it's very Pluto in nature and its transformations. It's that deep, deep connection. Now, with that circumstance, with the retrograde, the biggest area would have been, you might have been dealing with groups and feeling people misunderstanding you. People weren't understanding that you were going through, it can feel like an existential crisis. Something in you is changing, and you could be feeling like, you're embodying your energy, but it's heavy hitting energy. It's all first house placement. And if somebody's misinterpreted you, misunderstood you, or maybe cast you in a certain light, you might have been really reflecting upon that. Things that people said, how you showed up in groups and how that was affecting the way you were showing up in your connections. Now, the ruin that you have for your crowning energy for romance is such, and it does link to the Virgo energy, which is unique because it's to do with health, it's to do with devil in the detail. We had the Virgo full moon. A lot of inner child's wounds might have come up around that, and almost the wanting to relax, but at the same time being unable to. And what do I mean by that? As we move forward from the Virgo moon, because this relates to Virgo, moving into March, we're having Mars transit out of Taurus, which you'll be very happy to know. But it's that implementation of that now, of what you're going to do moving forward, especially connecting in with all facets of your life. Very personal inner transit. Now, this connects to Virgo, gold, earth and air, which currently we have both Saturn and Jupiter in air signs. We also have the metal oxyere, which to balance that vibration and to bring in good chi energy, we can use gold and we can use clear quartz and diamond. Fives are all about these deep changes we need to make. And we did have Uranus and Taurus go direct midway through January. We had it going forward, and then we had by mid-January we had the shadow phase of Mercury gearing up ready to go into retrograde in Aquarius, which links to your 10th house. So emotionally and spiritually, the way you showed up in groups, how they directly implicate and affect your connections, all of that was being deeply reflected upon. Now, you may be shifting about. You may be looking at how you can change circumstances in your life. And as Mars moves, it's going to shift into the house of Gemini. Self-worth energy is going to be the name of the game in the month of March. Now, we do need to be careful of idle gossip because the North Node's there, plus we're going to have Mars there. Steer clear of that energy, especially if you've seen any frequencies with groups that you've been mixing around. Just steer clear of it moving forward, which I feel you'll be intuitive to that point. Now, the ruin, what it connects to on an esoteric and mundane level. Mundane, protection, sanctuary, prayer, friendship, and trust. Mystical, magical communication with the divine, guardian spirit, absorption of protective cosmic energy, faith in the divine. And, you know, it's almost the key to life. It's like solutions, finding solutions. Sometimes these circumstances are outside of yourself. When it's in reverse, the quadrant may be in need of protection, but confirms of such protection as assured. All the quadrant needs to do is confirm the link with the divine. The ruin warns against peril, but, you know, you can wear it as a protective amulet. Now, it's in the upright, so you've come through the tunnel. Uranus and Taurus was causing changes for you and disruptions, but it's for the greater good. It's showing you an aspect of yourself that even through change we can still regain stability. But it's developing a different element inside our lives, especially when it comes to Venus. You're a Venus sign. So, let's have a read of what it says relating to your romance sector. Itself could also represent many different things, such as a tree, raised hand, swan in flight, or a person standing with a raised arm. It was often used by warriors as a symbol of protection and seemed to be the principal function. Okay, raising the palm, which is integrity. Okay. The one thing that came through was there is, how do I explain it? Number one, the first card that came out, it was funny because I found sometimes we can be thinking about our foundation. You know, our connection. Is it stable? Can it be taken from me? Is this going to be okay? What do I do? Your guides are with you. And it generally is because they want to show you something different to what you believed before. And it doesn't have to be something bad. But there can be stability at hand that you were tuning into. Is it safe? Are my loved ones going to be okay? Is everything fine? For those of you that did lose someone, and this is just one message and it's very separate to love, but they may have known this individual. This individual is with you, okay? The funny thing is, it's almost like, you know, those moments where you're dealing with adversity, and it can be especially with children and with family and things to that degree. And, you know, from a 3D level, we're thinking we can't see them anymore. What would they say in this situation? The thing is, they're always with us. The key to life is the connection to source. They tend to come through in your dream state. So, look, I'm trying to say, you know, you're going with the emotions. Water is all about emotions. It's intuitive. We're going to have a lot of Pisces energy. It's very emotive and intuitive when it comes to our love life. Again, purging the ego is moving into the fluidity of the fifth dimension and above, which is you have this sixth sense as to what to do. And however that be on the higher or lower octane, intuitive energy regardless. And we're feeling it out and healing. With the Virgo element, you could be really thinking on some things of what these solutions are after you endured a circumstance. And it does come down to, you know, connections. And I would also say, when I say connections, this can also be to do with employment, very separately, because it's part of the equation somehow. I feel you looking at contracts. I feel you looking at a circumstance that you're needing to address. Some of it you felt initially was outside of your control, but somewhere it's like you're taking the bull by the horns and you're actually going to change the direction. And I feel you're going to do it better than the other individual. Don't know what this is. It's like you're doing a 360. You've had a light bulb moment. It's almost like watching, waiting. When this circumstance comes towards you, I feel you're going to address it. There is a lot of, for some of you, I'm seeing that there is a circumstance relating to a previous event. Now, this can be with the same individual or it can be a separate individual in the scenario. Guides tend to work pretty unique and you've got to really decode it, so to speak. So some of you, it can be a karmic energy, a person's ex, yours or the other. And it doesn't even have to be an ex. It could be a family member. It could be, you know, when we say karmic, it's a firm energy. And it comes down to their conditioning of why they're showing up in the world this way. But they're not easy to get along with. They're quite difficult. Some of this has been closure, right? Now, thorns, you don't want to fight with anyone, but this individual is intent on causing drama. Be it there with you or not. Point blank zero, this is their auric field. This is the way they're coming through. You don't want any dramas. And you're also not willing to continue to make sacrifices. You feel you need to show up in a very different way. I do feel there's one person who's causing a little bit of gossip. And they could be spreading rumours about you, and this can be really upsetting you, especially if the rumours aren't correct. They're very temperamental. You need to be very careful with them. And I don't mean careful that you're not protected. Careful in effect that they're going to cause additional conflict that isn't necessary. So if you know better, do better. As in, don't mix with them. Keep your distance. Keep your distance from them. Dramas. You may have known them for a very long time. They might be in your circular of friends. But they're tit for tatty. You've got to be careful. There's something at the moment that hasn't resolved. You're holding on to it, right? This individual may have known someone who really wronged you. But they're causing dramas in your connection. And you don't have to be with this individual currently. This is a person external that is moody, broody, gossipy. This is just advice. Right, I mess with you. What a horrible way to live. For both individuals. When they feel they see something in a particular way, and this could even be your best friend. Right. Now, I think you're being careful about what you share now, but you do need to be really careful about what you share, because this person does not use that information effectively. They do tend to use it in a very malice format. Now, I think they've seen you through some circumstances, but there is jealousy when it comes to how they see your romantic life, and they do try and turn it back on you to a point where it makes you second guess the connection. It makes you second guess your way of why they're, even on that level. Now, separately, this can be an individual, because there's two storylines coming through here. There's one that this is on your side. This other situational ship is they're on the other person's side of the fence, and it's somebody's ex, however that relates, because there's two stories being shown to me. Whatever this is, it's not over. There could be a toughness in forgiveness with the circumstance that went down. And it might be because you had waited. It's a bit like you see the potential. You're like, all right, I'm doing X, Y, and Z because I see this closure point. I see this point that is coming to a close and it's going to get better, and therefore I will endure. And it's like, it's sort of asking you, it's based on a fact that if you do something and hold on, it's going to turn. The tides will turn. I'm going to pull a clarify. What is the circumstance for Taurus where they're feeling if they hold on, it's going to shift? It's movement. What you're doing right now is delaying an inevitable. Sometimes it means dropping the ball of what's difficult. It's not based on hope. It's about acceptance of where it is right now. And then suddenly everything shifts. This can be a wound as well. Something in your heart. Try and remove the 3D notion of what something should look like. And I think it should help unblock that. I'll pull a chakra card here. Again, you got third eye crowning, and it's because you're not seeing a different perspective. Sometimes when we've got tunnel vision, our ego, our intuition, our conditioning is telling us this is the only way it can be. And I always promote, step back from that painting. There can be another way. Sometimes not doing anything at all does shift it. But if you're holding on to it and it's remaining the same, it's effectively, if you're not loving it, don't do it. There's something, you can do things out of love. It doesn't mean to say the other person's going to understand that, but there's something that needs to be addressed. And it's about truth. This can be a conversation. This can be really getting to the heart. And look, it may be that this could be a circumstance where somebody lost somebody at some point and, you know, walking on eggshells, waiting, enduring, waiting for that transformation. And I feel suddenly you're realizing that there's some things you wish to communicate about, but you feel that you've put that on hold. You know, you've been holding the torch. Oh, wait, now it's not the right time. And that can be a multitude of things. And I feel like it has actually built up. And now it's getting to the point where, you know, you really need to express that, but you're not wanting to do the wrong thing. But the funny thing is, I think once you say it, I'll pull a clarify, you may have regret. I'm just going to tune into what this is. Let's work this out together. What is this, please? Trust. Yeah, it can be to do with trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform, and that's what's been coming through. You've got two energies. Now, this can be the same energy. It can be a previous person. If the previous person really stuffed you over and you really didn't have a lot of love in it, but it was a letdown, I think you're kind of feeling the mirror of this future energy is going to remain the same, and it's not. But it's almost a blockage to this. It's a blockage to this door opening. Sympathetic. The Virgo energy is asking you to heal the higher heart chakra. Because movement, you know, you're wanting movement, but it's almost like protection, you know, not wanting things to move, wanting everything to stay the same, which is, you know, Taurians, you guys are having a hard time at the moment due to the fact that you are in the house of, you're in the planet Uranus and Taurus, okay? Uranus is in your house. So, it's the shake-up energy. It's like, haha, okay. You've built your pyramid. You guys are about endurance and creating stability. Luxuries, finances, putting that piggy bank together. Making sure you buy the best sheets. Longevity, quality. Once that is all pulled away from you, which the squares are making that happen, it can make you feel vibrationally very unsettled, which a lot of people are going through. So it's sort of a fashion as such. This is showing you that, such as a fallacy, that with the laws of attraction, if you can let go and accept a circumstance, it's where the transformation comes from. But your thought is, it's a bit like having a 3D perspective on work. You get to work, you're having a terrible day. And you're thinking, gee, you know, started off, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I stubbed my toe, I hit my head, you know, I spilt food on me, and I've got this meeting this morning. And you get there and you're thinking, the day's over, frankly, right? If you could shift that perspective in that moment and just rewind, you got out of bed the wrong way. I wonder what this day will bring. I'm doing things differently. Stub your toe. Have a moment. Drop food on your shirt. By this point, I'll probably be crying and laughing at myself. I'll be like, yes. Anywho, if you can shift it, it moves very quickly, and you can say the day's going to end, right? When I get home, I'm going to enjoy that bubble bath. I'm going to cry and laugh at myself, and I'm going to move along. There's something in a fixation belief at the moment. It's really painful. It's almost like, I'm feeling it's like a clamp. It's like holding up, holding it tight, not letting anyone in. You're wanting people in, but you also don't want to break. You're wanting people in, but you don't want to break. It's funny because you've got plane in reverse, which is Sagittarius at the moment, which is long distance travel, right? A journey is indicated that physically or metaphorically your life will become more full. Now, it's about Jupiter, right? It's growth. Let's have a look at that in your chart, which again is 8th house placement. It's very much similar to your Venus house. Your Venus house, you can tend to attract a partner that is very mysterious, very secretive, very private, and it can make you paranoid. When you accept that of what the shadow energy is, and you can integrate it inside yourself, that you're allowed to have privacy, that you're allowed to have, you know, a secret, that you can be mysterious and spontaneous, plus it's deep intimacy, give and take. I don't need to do anything. Like, I'll show up, you show up, we'll work together. Great. You don't? Okay, there's nothing I can do. There's something in that to do with, because Scorpio, plus where Pluto is for you, is to do with endings, right? But it's like nothing ever ends, guys. We're energy. Just when our ego is involved, we can't see the past hope. But they're there, right? So you've got this frequency at the moment that nothing's going to go anywhere. It's going to remain the same. This isn't going to change. Again, perspective, third eye, ego. There is success here. The external is you need to move into the 5D. That clarity is going to give you a key to this, because this individual does have deep feelings for you. Very, very deep feelings. It's very powerful. Right. This is, it's funny, for some of you, you may conceive, but there is a creative path coming about, and there's a great chemistry between the both of you. Some of you could have two individuals. Do I go left? Do I go right? And this could potentially be why this person keeps popping up. We're getting into it in the tune-in. We'll see what's coming through in your extension read, and I'll see how they're showing up in it. If you do want to join us for the Twin Flame reads and you want to ask a quick super chat, come join us. Otherwise, I'll see you in the extension room, in the extension house. Thanks for joining us. If you do want the extension read, it is in the link directly below in the box. Also, all the booking information is there. Please subscribe if you do want to have current updates relating to astrology, moon energy, twin flame path. I do have super chats, so if you do feel you can't afford a reading, you can jump through and have a question during the sessions, as well as if you haven't joined my website, please do, because I do put up notifications relating to when I'm coming live, any events coming up, and specials. Take care. I will see you later. Have a great week.